Hi guys, how are you doing today? I'm doing awesome. Thanks for asking, by the way. Greeting, Mr. Shaibi, all your faculty, families, friends, underclassmen, and all the graduating seniors. Welcome to the graduation of Lawrence Academy's class of 2015. My name is Tim Fan, and I'm a sophomore from China. It's a pleasure to represent the underclassmen in congratulating the seniors. Have you ever lived in a totally unfamiliar world and know no one around you? Have you ever been asked to do something that you don't want to and you have no other options? Some people don't like it, but I will tell you that it is not necessarily a bad thing. In the summer of my 7th grade, I went to an ESL program in Canada. I lived with a family of 4, one Hong Kong mom, one French dad, a girl with a ponytail, and a boy with an afro hairstyle. I liked the family a lot, but I would like them more if they didn't ask me to keep all kinds of food off the 2nd floor, do my own dishes after each meal, and even clean up the toilet after I use it each time. In the first couple of days there, I understood Harry Potter's feeling when he lives in his uncle's house. As St. Augustine once wrote, "When in Rome, do as the Romans do." True, I thought, I have no other options, and I don't want to get kicked out of the house. So, I'd been calling stupid when I couldn't wipe the toilet well. I've been caught hiding food on the 2nd floor. I Skyped with my mom to complain, there are so many things for me to be mindful of, and I want to go home, but I couldn't fly. So I was forced to put up the pressure from other rules. Finally, after 4 weeks of walking on eggshell, the rules were imprinted on my mind, and I became more independent, and I felt like I didn't live in a prison anymore, but a home. A home is everywhere you can fit in. And Lawrence Academy is also a home for me. And my roommate is my first family member here at the school. Last year, when I first came to LA, I met the roommate I would have for the first 2 years of my high school life. And I thought we were born to be roommates. We respect each other and each other's feeling. I can't tell when we last fought or even had a serious argument, but at the beginning of this winter term, a pair of earphones intruded in our peaceful brotherhood. I started to go to bed as early as I could, but my roommates always stay up late to watch a movie till whenever he got tired, and gosh, he was never tired. I usually had no problem with it, because he always put his earphones on. But one night, his earphones were broken. And the buzzing sound that came out of the broken earphone, began to sound like it came from some low-quality speaker. When the light was off, and it would all be quiet. But his music was like mosquitoes flying around me. They were not good lullabies. I pressed my head between my blanket and my pillow like a piece of sandwich meat. I got so sleepy during the class, during the day. I could have just told him to turn it down, but I didn't have the courage to tell him because I didn't want him to think I was selfish. He eventually got a new pair from his mom, and I almost wrote her a thank letter. Sometimes solving problem was not as difficult as you thought. Simply speaking up might just get you out of troubles. After Thanksgiving break this year, I went to Indianapolis, Indiana, to attend a Student Diversity Leadership Conference with other representatives of our school. Student leaders from private schools all over the country were divided into new groups, and I was the only one from Lawrence Academy in my group. Everyone had different backgrounds, and I hated to sit on that awkward position that you were quickly defined by the very first opinion you had said. People were fighting to speak up as if they were in a graded seminar. And I was that one student who just sat there and only listened. Unlike other stories you might have heard, there was no friendly boy who came over to ask my opinion and get me involved. I was all on my own. What would you do if you're in my position? Just go and speak up? No, it's not that easy. When I organized my thoughts, they had already moved on to the next topic. The first morning passed, and I didn't say anything in the discussion. I almost thought I was invisible. But I have never been a quiet person, so I started to look for ways to get myself out of that awkward situation. I finally started my first official conversation with another boy in my group. And how did I do it? I went up to him and said, "Hey, what school are you from again?" Isn't that simple? By using that one question, I made a few friends that afternoon, and I felt like I defined the word socializer. You don't necessarily need a complicated formula to solve a problem. Your life is not AP calculus. Communication can help you more than you can imagine. Seniors, you're going to have a fresh start in the college. Don't back off from the difficulties you have encountered. You may also learn from them and become more mature and successful, like Harry Potter. As Franklin D. Roosevelt said in his message to Congress on minimum wage, one thing is sure: we have to do something. We have to do the best we know how at that moment. If your roommate snores, Skyping your mom won't help you much. Just simply communicate with your roommate about a problem, and you will never be regret.